I really, when this quarantine's over, I need a haircut so bad. Legit, my hair is going to become like Spike Spiegel at this rate.
3, 2, 1, go!
Hey folks, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime video. We're going to be talking about today some of the stuff I've been watching for the spring 2020 anime season. Now, a lot of these shows have been meeting with some interesting delays because of the fact that obviously a lot of these shows have had been impacted by the virus that shall not be named because I don't feel like getting my video taken down from YouTube. By the way, if people aren't mentioning the virus name that shall not be named, there's a reason for that. Legitimately, I found out a lot of people have had their videos either taken down or hit with copyright strikes from YouTube directly, not from any other person, but from YouTube for mentioning the name of the virus. So, we don't call it by name. Anyways, yeah, because I've obviously had a lot more time on my hands. And not that I lost my job, thank God, I still have my job. But my schedule has been changed for work. I still work, but it's not as much. The thing is, though, is that I've had more free time. So I have been watching a ton of anime in my free time, and I want to talk to you guys about some of the shows that I've watched more than 3+ episodes for. Some of these shows I'm not caught up with, so I will tell you guys in advance if I'm not caught up with it. Like, if I think it's been going downhill, I can't really say with 100% because of the whole, 3-episode rule thing. I don't per se believe in that too much, but you get what I mean. Anyways, let's talk about, first off, Kaguya-sama, which... Yes, I'm very behind on Kaguya-sama. I'm still in the first season, so no, I have not watched the second season. I've heard great things from a lot of my friends who are diehard fans of the first season. I know, don't kill me, guys. I wanted to binge this series so bad, but I actually really enjoy it that I watch it in like a small, reduced amount. So I've been watching the first season, and I'm almost caught up. I think I'm on episode 8 or 9, so I'm getting there. And then once I get to the second season, I'll talk to you guys about it. But going off my friends who are diehard fans of the series, they are saying that it's an amazing series, so definitely go check it out if you are on the fence about that or have been worried about that. Tower of God. I am loving Tower of God. Besides the opening, which is flipping amazing. Like, the opening, I could legit listen to 1,000 times a day, and I'd be okay with that. It is just so epic. And for many people that did not realize, there actually is a Korean version of the opening. If you're looking for the whole opening and you can't find the full Japanese opening, because obviously it's a Japanese remix for the anime itself, you can go and look up the Korean version, which is very similar, ironically enough. And I can't believe I would think that, but they're very similar. It's got a different dialect to it, a little bit of a different speed, but it's still fire. So if you want to listen to the whole thing, definitely do that. Tower of God so far is amazing. I already kind of knew that was going to happen, though, because of the fact that I am a diehard fan of the webtoon, and I really enjoyed it so far, so I did like that. By the way, guys, if you see the reflection of Mal, I have Mal open because I'm trying to go through the list. I'm not going to take, like, hours doing this. I don't want to go through every single one, but I'm going to go through the ones I'm watching specifically. I'll mention if I have seen it or if I've, like, checked it out and why I haven't watched it yet. Like, the next one, Glepnir. Glepnir, I wanted to watch for a while. I have not watched it yet, only because I haven't had the time to watch it per se. Like I said, I've been watching a lot of anime, but people think, oh, I have a lot of free time. I still have 2 jobs. One of my jobs is reduced schedule. The other one, I have to watch specific anime to write reviews and articles for. So, fortunately, I can't watch everything that came out. Glepnir is one of those things I've heard good things about, and I've heard weird things about. It's the whole premise of Glepnir is weird, so I'm definitely interested about it, but I have not gotten to check it out yet fully. Food Wars, no. Simply put, I have stopped enjoying Food Wars. I know the ending of the manga because I did follow and read the manga. I kind of hated the ending of the manga, and I know some people shared that same sympathy with me because it feels very rushed. You can tell that this guy, I forget the exact creator for Food Wars, so correct me in the comments below, but you could tell they kind of rushed it to speed it along to get to a finish, and it's noticeable. So, unfortunately, I have no interest to watch the anime anymore. I've kind of died out with the anime. Don't get me wrong, I love the animation, I still love the story behind it, but because I know where it's going to ultimately end up, unless I hear, and I'm being honest, I'm going to base it off of this, unless I hear the ending for the anime is different, I won't watch any more of the show. So I'm not really going to, I'll probably binge it later on at one point, but for now I'm putting it to the side. Yesterday, or Sing from Yesterday is the English name. Yesterday wo Yote is the Japanese name for it. I love this show. I hate how Crunchyroll's handling. Listen, stabbing you, Crunchyroll, for one thing. Why is parts of it cut out? I've heard from many people that are watching this telling me that parts of it have been cut out on Crunchyroll. I do not understand why that is. Don't have any idea. I can't tell you why. But I am loving this show. It is probably one of the more realistic dramas I've seen in a while. Yes, some of it's a little strange. Like, for example, Haru with the whole crow thing is a little weird, but Haru is a great character. She's probably one of my favorite girls of this 2020 season, to be honest with you. I just love her character. But I don't know why she's, able to basically summon crows by whistling. It's a little odd. But this series, besides that, is very filled with realistic drama. I think it's something that if you are someone who went out of college and found it hard to find jobs, or if you found it just where you didn't have that same drive to find a job, you'll probably get with the main character Riku. I think it's Riku, I'm sorry. Because of the fact that he has the same kind of concept to him, where a lot of people who go out of college don't find their dream job. And he has this thing where he now is struggling to find himself. So I think for a lot of people, this might be a good show to watch just because you see his character and you see yourself in his character, I should say. But I actually really like the show. I think it's an awesome show. It's not perfect yet, but it's getting close. And my voice cut out. That was weird. But I like it a lot. I really do. And it's probably one of the better shows for me of the season, to be honest with you. Like, if I had a top 3, it's up there. BNA, I am enjoying. I'm very behind on BNA. I think it's 7 episodes right now at the moment. I am episode 4, I believe, and it's getting good. The concept is very strange with the whole raccoon girl thing, but I like it because it kind of reminds me a little bit of Beastars. It's not exactly the same, but it has the same kind of feel. And it's Trigger. Trigger does amazing work, so definitely check out BNA if you want a, I want to say, an interesting take on segregation concepts in anime, because it's almost like a very fantasy-like theme of segregation, and kind of like how different classes are labeled differently based on their powers and stuff like that. It's interesting. Trigger, you know what's funny? If anyone hasn't noticed this about Trigger, Trigger explores real-world themes in their stories that are very unrealistic. That's what makes it crack up about them, because they actually really... And I hit my boom mic. This thing, by the way, has been falling nonstop, where I can't even keep it up anymore. That sounds really dirty now that I think about it. Anyways, get your minds out of the gutter, folks. But seriously though, Trigger has always been known to kind of put this real world emphasis in their stories, and I always think that's kind of cool because, okay, maybe there's giant robots and giant crazy psychos running around, but there are actually real themes to it. BNA definitely has some real world themes that you might like, so check that series out if you want. Let's see, I'm going to go through a few more. Fruits Basket, I'm not checking the second season only because I'm still very behind. I've watched the original one all the way through, but I'm kind of behind. A Pair of Ramon, I'm going to check out. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I have not gotten the chance to check it out. Let's see what else. Listeners, I don't even want to touch. I saw a little bit of Listeners. I liked the concept, but I've been hearing from a lot of my friends that have been watching it. It's not getting any better, so yeah. Now, surprise of the season is Shiro Neko Project Zero Chronicles. Folks, I will tell you, for a fantasy action series that's done by a studio that's known basically for Pokemon and the original Berserk, which is crazy if you think about it, this series is very underrated. I actually did an article for Honey's Anime, and it's not out yet, but when it does, I'll probably put it in the description box below. If not, you can always check out on the website for it. But Shiro Neko is a good series. I am digging this series. I really like it. I think a lot of you guys will like it too. I would definitely consider checking out if you like a lot of fantasy action. But what I think is kind of cool also about it is it's not your atypical story. Like, in terms of, it has a light and darkness element to it, but no character is per se as what they seem. Like the main character is the Prince of Darkness, or he's trained to be Prince of Darkness. You would think he's a bad guy, and he's not, which is very interesting. There's a lot of cool concepts to it. I'm not going to spoil too much because it's a very spoiler-heavy series just by talking about a lot of it. It does it very quickly, where certain characters get their certain roles very fast. But definitely check it out. Kingdom 3rd season, I want to check out when I catch up with Kingdom, but at the same time, I have no drive to watch it, only for the fact that I am reading the manga. I love the manga. The first 2 seasons of the anime are hit or miss. I started watching some of the first season, and it wasn't my cup of tea. Bungo to Alchemist, which is, I think, Alchemist, was it? I forget the exact, Alchemist Judgment, I believe. I had such high hopes for the series. I really did, because it's, it just sounded right up my alley for the fact that I'm a writer, and I love famous literature, especially Japanese literature is amazing. Some of the stories from Japan, straight from Japan, are credible, and the whole concept of exploring this ability where people go into the world and can alter things and change up parts of the story, and they're trying to save it, and it's writers doing that, I think is really cool. There's a lot of cool concepts to it. Unfortunately, the execution is all over the place. It is a very confusing story already to begin with, and so I had a delay. So I talk about this in another arc I'll actually do for, because this is one of the series I'm covering. Ironically enough, the anime itself, like, it's been delayed, so I can't really say that the anime is bad. I'm not going to do that yet because it's at the 3rd episode, but it's been delayed. I think it resumes next week, I believe, on May 8th or something like that, or on May 10th, around that. But you know, I have hopes for it that it can come back, maybe with a little more explanation and a little more episodes. It'll start making sense. But right now, as it is, it's kind of like it could have been a lot better. I think they should have did a lot more work with it. Sakura Tyson, the animation, or Shin Sakura Tyson, the animation. Whew, where do I start with that really fast? Let me before I get into that, because I'll probably be I wrap up this video with. Yeah, I'll probably wrap up this video with that. Anything else, by the way, that's been airing, I'm not really checking out. I'm far behind on Black Clover. I do want to watch more Black Clover. I have the whole first season. I have really no excuse not to watch first. I know. Ghost in Shell animation, the new one that's on Netflix, not watching that. It looks like garbage. I don't care what anyone tells me. It looks like garbage. It is not. No. I will refuse to watch. I saw several scenes of him doing of Makoto doing backflips. Or not, it wasn't Makoto, it was someone else doing backflips, actually. Could have been Makoto. I don't know who it was. But it's bad. And Orphan's continuing from last season. I have a lot of problems with it. Anyways, yeah, well, I have to make a video about Orphan one of these. I really got to, because I know I want to talk about that before. And I think you mentioned in one of my videos I was going to do a video on Orphan. But let's talk about Shin Sakura Tyson, the animation, real fast. Because for many of you guys don't know, I actually love Sakura Tyson, the animation. I've watched the original one way back when. It was like the early 2000s, I think, came out. And it was based off a shorter series, which I watched too. I watched all the original ones. I played a few of the games. I played the one that came on the PS2. I loved it. I played the recent one, which is actually not too bad. Some issues with it, but it's not. It's actually a pretty fun game. This show should have been better. I don't know what happened. There is some weird thing with how it's not the plot. It has nothing to do with the characters. I actually love that. I hate the animation style, where the animation style switches between 2D and CG very fast. Like, there are some scenes that are 2D, and there's some scenes that are CG, and it's mostly CG, don't get me wrong, it's mostly done CG, but it just looks like garbage. The whole thing is very bad looking, and I know I usually don't judge anime based just solely on looks, but this series really just, I had a lot of high hopes for it, and it just, oof. But, yeah, let's end on a better note, because I don't want to talk actually about Shin Sakura Tyson too long, because it disappoints me. I'll put it that way. It really disappoints me how kind of terrible it came out. I will say this, folks. The anime season's been okay. I don't think this is going to be a revolutionary anime season, but I need to finish it. Sorry, my nose itches. I don't know why the season, has been so mediocre. I don't think it has anything to do per se with the virus that shall not be named, because I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's really not." I think a lot of these shows were already pretty much done already to begin with. A few of them, yeah, obviously you could tell the ones that got delayed, like Fruits Basket, I know was delayed, and a few others because the virus that shall not be named. I almost said it, by the way. But it's not because of that. I think solely it's just that there wasn't really anything that great this season. I don't think that besides Tower of God and a few others, the season's really been just a mediocre season. It's not horrible. It's not that great. I've actually been watching a lot of older shows that I haven't really got into. I watched recently Ira Furte, it's From Commonplace to Strongest. I love that show. I know a lot of people hated that show. I actually think that show was a lot of fun. Especially the concept behind it was really cool. It's just interesting. I mean, it's been done like a million times before, but I did enjoy it. What else am I watching? I'm watching Garo, which I haven't. I've always had the whole series of Garo, and I've never checked out Garo. I don't know why it's taken me this long to watch Garo, but I really enjoy it. And I'm trying to watch Regular Magic at high school. I have the whole series, and I'm still behind on it. There's a lot of shows I'm behind on, unfortunately. But yeah, so far I think this season's kind of mediocre. I don't think it's horrible. I don't think it's great. I think it's just kind of middle ground. What have you guys been thinking about this season? Let me know what your favorite shows are in the comments below. I will try to check them out if I can, if I haven't already. And as always, guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I don't upload as much, but I still try to once in a blue moon, at least once a month, or once every 2 months. I don't even want to know what the last video. Oh, I did a review of ID Invaded, and I had to retake that down. By the way, I'm gonna do this real fast. ID Invaded was a really good show. I liked it a lot. And I don't want to mention. I'm not gonna mention the title probably, or maybe I will. I don't know. Think about it. But I will say this season was not season. Excuse me. That ID Invader was a great show. I did not. I did the review because originally I had messed up with the review. If you guys don't know, Funimation had it where it had the episodes titled for every episode was coming out, and it was like one ahead. So the show was able to, I think it's 13 episodes. And I thought, oh, okay, it's done. You know, I thought it was finished. It was not. It had one more episode left, and I thought that was a really weird way of doing it. But overall, that show was very good. I gave it like a B plus. I gave it around like an 8 on Mal, I think, or a 9. I really enjoyed it. I think it was very well done. I don't think it's perfect. It had some issues with it. More, I want to say like in the ending part, because it feels a little bit like it's going really fast. But it wrapped up pretty good. I liked the whole kind of conclusion of it, so I enjoyed it. I think you guys will too if you definitely check it out. Anyways, guys and girls, I'm going to leave now because I do have to go get some dinner and stuff like that. I will talk to you guys later. Have a great, blessed day, everyone. God bless you all, you and your families, during this really tiring time. It's been rough, folks. It's been rough for everyone, and I want you guys to know that, you know, you just stay strong as best as you can. Endure everything that's thrown at you one step at a time. You know, it's overwhelming if you take things too fast, but try to take every little challenge you have and get through it. We will all get through all this tiring time together, folks. I love you all. God bless you all. If you ever need to talk to me, by the way, my DMs are open on Twitter. I do talk to people who need help with certain things. I'm not a professional psychiatrist or anything like that. I'm not going to be able to do that, but I'm always willing to listen to you guys if you need a vent or you need to just talk or you need some advice or something. Feel free to do that. I think my Twitter link is in the description box below, so you can follow me on there. I do have a thing where if you don't follow me, it goes to my you know, I think it's like a DM like blocker first, and so it tells you like, oh, you know, do you want to let this person talk to you? Some weird thing like that. But I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great blessed day, everyone. God bless you all again. Bye bye, everyone.